Michelle with my Big Heart for Veterans, and I'm out at US Vets today, which is a wonderful organization helping lots of veterans get off the streets. I highly support this. That's why I started my shoe drive. But I recently met a wonderful veteran, Miss Melissa, and unfortunately her dog Augie, she couldn't have him here, and I knew how desperately she needed a military dog. I mean, they lived on the streets together and everything, and I just realized, oh my goodness, there's a big problem here and we need to fix this. So I reached out recently to a wonderful friend of mine, Robert, because I reached out to a nonprofit for dogs and they would not help. And I was very disappointed in them for that, because this dog is a good dog. Augie is a great dog, and even the shelter he recently was at, and I'll let Robert share, but I called my friend Robert and I said, would you be able to help? We need to get the dog vaccinated and moved out of the place where it's at, where they can't keep the dog anymore, into a safer place, because we're trying to make him a military dog. So Robert, would you like to share how you, and Robert also is sponsoring my nonprofit. One of my first donations came from this wonderful man, Robert Gucci. I'm very thankful for that. So Robert, would you like to share what you found out?
Sure will. Well, when Michelle told me about Melissa and her predicament with not being able to be united with her dog, I realized that I had to try to do something to help her out, because I'm a dog owner and I'm a single guy, and I live alone, and without my dog I knew that finding happiness and joy would be a little harder without my dog. So I thought, let's get Melissa and Augie back together somehow. So the two of us drove over to a mobile pet vaccination clinic, and we got Augie all up to date with her shots, and I got her started with a 90-day flea pill and parasite pill, so she was all fixed up medically, but she still couldn't follow Melissa to her home here at US Vets. So we started thinking about places that Augie might be able to stay, but I was coming up short. And then Melissa, I'm on your own, I think, right?
Yep.
After making lots of phone calls, and found out about the Houston Humane Society, and they agreed to take Augie in for several months.
And quickly realized,
Immediately,
after a short period of time, which Robert told me the same thing when he met Augie, what a great dog it was. It was already a military dog. It's lived with Melissa on the streets and everything, and they get very bonded. So I'm glad that organization realized it should be a military dog. You want to share what's happened now?
So basically, the Houston Humane Society actually helped reunite Augie and I after 77 days of not being with Augie permanently. But before that, as Mr. Roberts said, he hoped get her vaccinated, because originally we were going to get her fostered, but that didn't work out. It was just another barrier added to the mountain. And Michelle and I kept in contact, and Mr. Robert, my angelic team was being formed behind the scenes, and I didn't even know it. And then the end result was, again, Houston Humane Society has been the angelic team. There's a trainer that actually helped evaluate Augie, so she didn't have to go to some other organization. The policy tried to say she needed to be certified. She's already been with me since 9 weeks old. She is 7.5 years old. She is my ride or die partner, crime in faith. She has actually been my ride or die out in the streets when everybody gave up on us. But we just have to keep on keeping on. I got to go visit her a couple times, but that was hard leaving her there. Knowing that I was still pressing on through, because my wonderful VA health system was not there for me. I pressed on, and I told them I want a psychologist outside the world of the VA, and that lady has a German Shepherd Husky just like Augie. She's 8 years old, and her name happens to be Grace. So imagine that. This was already a design thing from God, and I just had to keep on trusting and obeying. And right now, this has been definitely complete since Friday the 26th. So,
And home where he should be.
right. She's a she.
And she should be. I'm so sorry. And I usually say
It's
she.
all
I
good.
get
It's
messed
all
up.
good. Augie
But no.
is taken for as a boy and girl alone. So it's all right.
And then Robert, what made you decide you wanted to donate to my nonprofit? What made you realize the cause and it would help?
Oh, I just felt that your determination to get your nonprofit launched was an opportunity for me to help out. I've never been in a ground floor of getting a nonprofit started, so I thought I can do this. This won't be a difficult reach for me, and so I was more than happy. I didn't realize I was going to be your very first donor,
I was so excited.
but I'm happy to have that distinction.
Absolutely. Well, I will let you know from my big heart for veterans to yours, I appreciate any donation. The medical equipment that I will be collecting will be helping children, because there's even families that have come out to me that have reached out that said they were having to buy wheelchairs, like for a daughter with cerebral palsy. And because of my years of working with muscular dystrophy kids, I realized the Muscular Dystrophy Association pays for those wheelchairs. So pretty soon I'm going to have a video with a mother who her son touched my life so much he had muscular dystrophy, and she's going to share that story. But the medical equipment, like I said, will be for anybody in our community, whether it's seniors, children, veterans, also veteran resources, and this shoe drive will continue because getting veterans off the street, giving them a chance to get quality of life, work through their many demons that cause PTSD, because I also have PTSD, I understand it in a big way. It's important to have all the therapy they're getting and help them get back on their feet, jobs and everything, and quality of life. So from my heart to yours and my big heart for veterans, God bless you all and have a wonderful day.